Hey everyone. So I'm back for just a little bit of it's going to be a short video. I am getting ready to pot my tomato seedlings. And I just kind of wanted to do something really quick to show you. Quick trick. Not necessarily a trick, but something that can possibly help those who are just starting out so that they don't have to go and spend a whole lot of money on supplies. So I have these that I saved from the strawberries that I bought at the nursery. I had some bare root strawberries that I did plant, but then I also bought some strawberries that already kind of, had their leaves and some strawberries already on them. And I put them in a separate green stock planter. So I saved these, of course, so they don't go to waste. And I am going to use these to pot. But if I didn't have these, here's something else that I do. Plastic cups. I know, possibly one day I'm going to get some angry people that don't like plastic. I get it. I have 6 children. My smaller kids, my teenager, not so much anymore, but she did. They would go and get cups. They would put some water. We had water bottles at one point, and then I stopped doing the water bottles. They would go and get cups when I got the water cooler. And they would, fill the cup all the way up, take 3 sips, sit the cup down full of water, and then it was nobody's cup. Nobody knows whose cup that is. They're going to get another cup. I'm not going to wash like 30 cups a day. Yes, I could, fuss and holler about just get 1 cup, but they're kids. I do fuss and holler. They still get the cups. So this is what I do. I buy a pack of these from Sam's Club. I think it's like $9 and I get, a whole lot. And sometimes I have them write their names on them. Sometimes I don't. But at the end of the night, I'll go and I'll collect 10, 15, 20 cups of more than halfway full of water. And I'll dump the water in my plants, my indoor plants, and I'll save the cups. The good thing about this is I don't have to use my markers for these. So for the black ones, I'm going to have to use the markers. With these, I can just write what they are, and then I save on markers. So that's one benefit. The other benefit is reusing the plastic that my kids waste. Of course, these do not come with the holes at the bottom. So what I usually do is I'll take it, I'll put it in a stack, take my drill down into the hole. Simple. Take the drill out. And they don't have to be perfect. You can't see that. They don't have to be perfect. They just need to be able to allow water to get in or flow through. I bottom water, so I just make sure that, they can get the water to come up through here to moisten the soil. So I'm going to do one for you. Typically, I'll moisten this. This one is not moist, but that's okay. I filled it up, create a little hole, and then I'm going to take my finger and stick it in. Maybe I can do one of these. So you can't see that. Maybe you can see this one. All right, so this one's kind of bent over. It's not broken. So I'm going to be careful, but I'm going to take my finger and I'm going to stick it down in the side where the seedlings are. And I'm going to pull out the dirt and everything. Well, this one didn't come out with dirt, but I'm going to make sure I get the roots. Now, the thing about these are there's little hair-like fibers on the side. Those can turn into a root system. So we will bury it deep. Now, this is not the right one. This is a pineapple tomato, and I put Kellogg's breakfast. So let me get a Kellogg breakfast one. I just wanted you to see how I take my finger and dig it out without You try very hard not to damage any roots if you can. Again, I'm going to bury it deep. I'm going to bury it up to right here. In here. So make sure it goes down far enough. I'll stick that in there. And so all those fibers are going to become roots. Now, you see? And I'm going to stick it in my tray. So I'm going to show you my tray real quick. And again, I'm going to bottom water. So I'm going to fill this tray up with water. And then it's going to soak up through the bottom. And that is going to allow the roots to go down. And I'll give you an example, actually, of how the roots go down. You see? Helps you keep your plants from getting root bound. They learn to reach all the way down and pull their nutrients from the bottom. So that is what I'm going to do. I have 18 of these cups. And then I have 18 of these pots. So that's 36. All 36 of these that I'm going to do tonight are going to be what's going in my garden. Tomorrow I'm going to go get some more cups. I'm going to buy fresh cups because I'm going to sell some started plants at the farmer's market. My kids have put their mouths on these in the age of COVID. I am not going to share their germs. So I'm going to go get some brand new cups. I'll get a pack of cups. It's still cheaper than getting those little pots because it's going to be hundreds in there. I'm not going to use all of them for this. So I also have some for my kids to drink out of. And I'm going to do the other 36 because it's 72 cells in here. And actually, I am not doing the math correctly. There's 72 cells in here, and I started two plants, 2 seeds in each cell. So I have way more than 36 that's going to be left. Those are going to be the ones that I'm going to use to sell at the farmer's market. So, of course, my kids decided they wanted to get extremely loud at the end of that video. So I decided to do a voiceover while I finish out the rest of this tray. And then I can show you at the end what the tray looks like and how I bottom water. What I started to say was that I'm going to take the rest of the seedlings, pot them into some more cups, and I'm going to stick them on the shelf as well. Those are going to go to the farmer's market. I'm going to also start my pepper seeds this weekend. I decided to stagger my seed starting this year due to the lack of space and things not being ready when it was time to start seeds. So normally I'll start all the tomato and pepper seeds together. But this year I decided to go ahead and start all of my tomato seeds because I knew I was going to start a bunch of tomato seeds. And then I'm going to do my pepper and eggplant seeds this weekend or next weekend. That way, when it's time to up-pot those, my shed will be finished and I'll be able to put another shelf in there with some more lights. Really, I wanted to have my greenhouse done, but as you know, plans changed and that's okay. But I didn't want to have a bunch of shelves inside my house with a whole bunch of seedlings going on at the same time. So that's why I decided to stagger it this year. Another thing I'm looking forward to is it to be consistently warm nights and some good sun. So I have a harden off table that I will take my seedlings out and put on the table and harden them off before I actually plant them out. This year, I'm going to try something a little different. I have been taking those seedlings and sitting them out when there's actual sun out and allowing them to soak up some real sun versus just being under the lights all the time. Because the temperatures continue to drop a little bit at night, I haven't been leaving them outside. And then it's also been because of the weather coming from that storm, there hasn't been any sun out for the past few days. So I've left them on the shelf for the past maybe 3 days. But as the sun starts to come back out, I'm going to take them back out and I'm going to see if as they're developing their leaves, I just let them go ahead and develop outside in the actual sun, so my harden off time won't have to be as long when it's time to plant them outside. That is something I'm going to try this year, but I don't necessarily think it's something I want to recommend for anyone else to do. You want to harden off your plants if you start them inside. Even if you start them in a greenhouse, you want to harden them off before you put them in your garden so that they don't get scorched by the sun and it ends up killing some of them. But now I'm going to go ahead and just show you the tray. I finished all 18. Now I'm going to lift up 1 cup, pour some water at the bottom of the tray, and replace the cup. This is what I'm going to do every time it's time for me to water. And that is it. So I thank you again for hanging out with Royal Roots. And until next time, be blessed.